Hi everyone, I'm Bob. Welcome to this Bifrost workshop. Today's workshop topic is about cross-chain SLP with token mining, and I will also share some helpful tips about contract programming. First, I will introduce a little about myself. I am from Bifrost Technical Committee, and I am also the technology judges of this section. I'm a full stack developer in blockchain technology for many years. I mainly write Rust, Golang, and TypeScript. Okay, let's moving on. In this picture, you will find the relationship between Bifrost and the Polkadot. Okay, Bifrost is connected to the Polkadot as a relation. Bifrost is mainly the staking component of the Polkadot. If you are familiar with the Ethereum ecosystem, you can think of Bifrost as Uniswap, balancer, compound, and other functions in the centralized exchanges. Bifrost is a Web3 directive protocol that provides decentralized blockchain liquidity for staked assets leveraging the cross consensus message, the so-called SSM. Bifrost is a super DeFi directive parachain in Polkadot ecosystem. Bifrost's mission is to provide standardized cross-chain interest-bearing directives for Polkadot relations, parachains, and other chains raised with Polkadot. Furthermore, by aggregating over 80% of POS consensus chain staking liquidity through cross-chain directives, our protocol lowers users' staking threshold, increases multi-chain staking rate, and improves the ecosystem application interest base by creating a three-way positive cycle for the StakeFi ecosystem by empowering users, meta chains, and ecosystem applications. This is an overview of our Bifrost DApp. You can navigate Bifrost app in your browser to visit our DApp. As you can see, there are already many products on our DApp, like we loan for slot auction, we staking for staking assets, farm for liquid farming, and the farming V2 is on the way. And the last swipe for token exchange. And you can see the TVL here. Okay, let's go straight to the point, the you will find many useful resources under our Bifrost Finance organization in GitHub. Our bounty is under the Bifrost Finance organization too. You can find many useful links here and the description about the bounty and the purpose we set up the bounty. We are welcome everyone to join us to help us build a website together. In the how to get involved section, you will find the bounties list. There are two bounties for this hackathon now. The first workshop I have just gave a lecture yesterday. It's about V-token liquidity DeFi pilot. Today, I will talk about the second one. The bounty title is Bifrost Contract Corruption Operation SLP Mounting with token. Of course, you can choose EVM, Pilot, or Watson as you like. The challenge description is SLP, that is staking liquidity protocol. SLP is a Bifrost pilot running liquid staking assets such as VKSM. This strategy is to create a cross-parachain DApp in EVM, Pilot, or Watson, which can call with token minting by using SLCM technology. You may find more details about SLP in our wiki, or just go straight to the source code. Now let's navigate to the wiki. What with VKSM as an example, there are also many other V-like tokens in our parachain. VKSM is voucher KSM. It's a side token of stake KSM. When you stake KSM in our parachain, you will get VKSM as a staking reward. These are some design and feature about VKSM. You can do many DeFi operations with the V token on our parachain DeFi apps. Okay, let's just see the picture. It's easy to clarify the details. There are two important interfaces for this workshop. The first is the mint interface. It is also called the dispatchable call in subject pilot. You will need to call the mint interface to mint V token, and the redeem interface to destroy V token. These are the inner workflows about the details of the pilot. This session will list the steps details about how to mine VKSM and how to redeem VKSM. These are the steps implemented in the pilot. And this is the calculation about the KSM reward. Okay, the pilot detail, I think you should read it later. Or just read what you need. And the second one, I think the more important is to read the source code. The pilots are all in the Bifrost GitHub repo under the pilots directory. There are two related pilots for this workshop. The first one is the SLP. All the business logic and the complicated liquidity and pools are in this pilot. And another one is V token minting. The mint and the redeem dispatchable call is in this pilot. You can search mint here, the pilot call. You may need to check the parameter later for details. If you don't know how to use the dispatchable, you can see the test in this file. Okay, let's move on the slide. Then I will give you some tips about the workshop. I hope they will help you something. Okay. The first tip is how to develop a EVM contract on Polkadot ecosystem. I think our friend Moonbeam is your best choice for now. We know that Moonbeam is the EVM parachain for Polkadot. It is almost the same developer experience as the Ethereum ecosystem. You can write your familiar Solidity codes, familiar dev tools like Truffle, Remix, Hot Hat, Scaffold ETH, and familiar contract series. The easiest way to start is to use the Moonbase Afro testnet. Okay, let's navigate to the docs. In this docs, you will see the API endpoint for the Moonbase Afro testnet. You may use it in your Web3 or Ether.js library, or you may need it under your MetaMask endpoint. You may need to add a network here, and you should type the API endpoint and the chain ID and the access and so on. It also provides a very easy to use explorer. The first one is for the Ethereum, and it's the almost the same as Etherscan. It's very easy to use, and it can be integrated into the hard hat. If you want to query some metadata on the substrate node, you will need to subscan. Okay, the other details you should read it later for yourself. Okay, let's move on. Tips 2. We know that when we write a production-ready Solidity contract, we need some best practice. First, we should see what some more famous Ethereum DeFi projects uses. When I dig the source code about Uniswap v3, I found that it uses hardhat plus ether.js. After I dig into this tech stack, I found that it is not the best practice to organize a Solidity contract for now. Another choice is to use scaffold ETH. It is a more complicated boilerplate code in example for you to start. It contains more components. It has hardhat plus ether.js from the end and the graph. It is used to index train data. Okay, let's visit the docs. In the Moonbeam wiki, it document all the details and some description or a tutorial about the scaffold ETH. It includes the steps you will use to use the scaffold repo and all the configuration details about how to modify the scaffold ETH source code, like how to modify the network, uh, the the wallet keys, and the GraphQL, the graph indexing config. Yeah, it contains all the config details. You may need to read it later. Okay, let's go to the scaffold ETH. The scaffold ETH is just some boilerplate codes. All the component is under the packages. It's divided into 4 components. The first is a hard hat. The country code is under the hard hat directory. And the front end code is under the React app. And in this repo, it's written in JavaScript. And the last tool is about the graph indexing tool. If you prefer to write a TypeScript in your front end, you may need to git run this repo. It's written in TypeScript. Okay, let's continue the slide. Tip 3, also the last tip is about how to scan security problem in your Solidity contract. We all know that security is very, very important for DeFi contract. In the real world, we may contract a security company to do the security audit, but it is always the last step we should do. Also, we should consider the payment of the security company. If you are an individual developer, I think the best choice for you is to use the right tools to in the development space. Slither is a very powerful static analysis framework. It's written in Python, and it's very easy to use, easy to integrate it to your CI workflow. Okay, let's see the repo. The Slither has many features, and it's very easy to use. You can just Slither dot under the root of your project, and then you will get a simple report about the security scan of your source code. And you can also Slither a single Solidity file like this. You can see many detectors in his wiki, in the detector document. You can see this document is very long. It has a huge detectors. Each detector, it has the track token. You can configure it in the Slither config file, and the severity and the confidence. You can configure these 3 configs in the Slither config. And for each detector, it gives a small code snaps. It also has a GitHub action integration. You can integrate it into your GitHub CI very easy. I I also made a boilerplate code myself. You can check this. I have included many components in my repo. Um, I have integrated these two linting utility in my code. And I also put some GitHub actions in the CI. And this is the slicer config. You can use it at a slab point. Okay. Okay, that's all for my lecture. To conclude about the two bounties of this hackathon workshop, we are very glad to see more developers to get involved into our project. And we will give big or small bounties for your work. In Web3 world, we developers are all in a decentralized company, right? We can choose to work for our interests and get paid in tokens. Have fun in this hackathon. Thank you for your time.